beautiful, vibrant souls. I'm so glad that you could cross my timeline today. We're going to pull some cards for the collective. Some of these messages may resonate with you. If you are looking for more personal guidance, I can do so with a recorded, personal, confidential, in-depth dive to your cards just like this, but I do so on a sliding scale, so it always fits within your budget. See what messages we have today. Some frustrations that some of us are enduring right now. Always some kind of struggles that that hit us during these retrograde phases as well, and many times we discover that these are opportunities for us to things with a new perspective and to think differently about things. Now, you have to be ready to hear these messages. You have to want something different, and you have to be focused on changing your mindset. So you have to be willing to stop your brain when it's doing those things to you and shift it up. We've got this 10 of swords. It feels like betrayal. It feels like somebody has just abandoned you, and that everything's falling apart and things aren't going the way that you want to, and you keep ending up in this. Why does this keep happening to me? There is a little bit of a victim mentality here. And that's not to say that there aren't some situations that are beyond our control and that we aren't actually dealing with issues. But in this situation, this is very often the result of us continuing to allow that treatment, continuing to expect people to treat us differently when we don't even treat ourselves the way that we deserve. I'm getting very strongly that this is something that you went back to and you're wondering why it hasn't changed. It won't, because it is what it is, and it wasn't meant for you the first time. And so you walk back into this situation and they stabbed you in the back again and they failed you again and they have not held up their end of the deal and they are speaking on your name. I'm getting from some of you that there's people that are just being absolutely devastated in rooms they're not even in. And they expected that person to do something different, but you knew what they were going to do because they did it last time. And yeah, people can say that they're going to change, but the reality is we know that speaking on change and being change and exemplifying change are very different things. So you can't keep walking into this room and expecting them to not fire the arrows at you, because this person walks in there and makes themselves out to be the sad purveyor of the situation, and then you're the one that's doing the work. You're the one that's making them miserable. And so you've become the enemy to this group of people that this person walks in and talks badly about you. It's not in their interest to change that narrative. It it serves them better to treat you as the bad guy. So you can't expect them to change that situation. We've got our Prince of Cups. He likes attention. She likes attention, whoever the person is. Because that's what helps them forget that um, they don't feel adequate. This is about letting people's impressions decide how they act. I'm getting a lot of matched energy. Um, that's childish. I'm sorry, but it is. That whole "I'm gonna match your energy" vibe. This is for high schoolers. If you have to lower yourself to be in the company of another person, you need to leave the room. You don't need to be in that company. Don't match that energy. Don't lessen yourself. Don't weaken your own vibration, your own protection. You've got guides looking out for you, and you're going to go ahead and be among these lower vibrational beings and then match their energy. Why would you do that? That's childish. It's not a mature way of dealing with things. A mature way of dealing with things is saying, "Let me just gather my things and leave. Thank you. Bye now." Don't ever go back. So this person has an advantage to behaving this way, and then they get the extra added bonus of making you drop your frequency too. Oh, they love that. They love that because then they can look at everybody that they've been talking to you about, or uh, talking about you too. That's the way I wanted to say it. And they go, "See, I told you they were like that. See, yeah, I told you." You're just helping them prove their point. Just so this Three of Swords, we have some indication of a big ouchie. They just doing you wrong. I mean, right now it's probably at that level where you're just like, oh, I'm annoyed, and why did I walk back into this? I feel betrayed. But uh, this is a deliberate act. They're deliberately now seeing how far they can go, how much they can do to hurt you, how much they can abuse you. I just want to see. Oh, you said you had boundaries. I thought you said you had boundaries. You weren't going to let anybody treat you like this, and that's a joke to them. It's like they're set out to embarrass you. They're set out to prove that this nonsense that they've been spewing to people this whole time is the truth. And so they have to do these like shady, underhanded things in order to do that. Problem here is that you let them walk back into it. It felt like, oh, it'll be different this time. I want to give them a chance. I'm getting sometimes this is family. Sometimes this is getting in some situations. This is just a friend circle, and in some situations, this is very much a romantic encounter. For some of you, it's just the whole feeling of getting into um, trying to get back into relationships and allowing yourself to waste your time and energy with people that are just not even at your level. And then you wonder why you feel bad about it. So this is going to be a little bit more general for some and a little bit more specific than others, but the message still stands. You're responsible for your own well being, and that means that sometimes you need to walk out. Message for today. Stand on business or pick up your things and leave, if that's what it means. Chameleon Spirit comes up today for this group of collectives. Talk about this card a lot. Act as if this is a tool of manifesting. You're familiar with Abraham. You know what I'm talking about when I say that it's already yours, it's already in the vortex. So, the idea behind this energy is that there are times when we are a little bit fake in the funk. I know that there are things out there that are meant for me, that are perfect for me, that I am in alignment with. I can feel them and they're so close. They're not tangible yet, they're not in my hands. And when I doubt and question whether or not they're going to arrive, I kind of change my vibration in that. So it's this idea of squashing doubt. It's like planting your seed and you do everything right. Like you know that the seeds are viable. You put them in the fertile soil. The soil's been prepared properly. You start watering it. It's in the sunlight. And every single day you go and you go, it's never going to sprout. It is going to sprout, right? Like you know it is. You know that it's going to sprout, but it hasn't sprouted yet. So when you look at it, there's a sense of disappointment. It's this sense of like, when, and you're almost like obsessing over it. But then you get really busy for like 3 days and you don't really have time to sit there and obsess over the situation because you got so much going on. You just need to you stay focused on the things that need to be done. get up and you get about your day and you go and you handle your work and you come home and you handle your home and then you're exhausted and you get in bed and you never have time to doubt any part about it. And then you go, oh shoot, my seed. And you go and you check on it and there it is. It's sprouted. There it is. The acting as if is this effort of eliminating doubt, but it can't be like this conscious like I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it because you're still kind of obsessing over it. When you're obsessing over it, you're spending all this time thinking about it. It's like you're telling the universe that you don't believe it, so you have to convince yourself. Acting as if is when you go about your life knowing that these things are coming through for you. Um, the one thing that I noticed when I'm manifesting something specific, and I'll admit I'm struggling right now to like hone in on my vision. So it's been a little bit kind of all over the place. And so I had to get really specific and start like writing down specifics of what I'm looking for and then find imagery to help like convey that and then think about what that felt like so that I could get these images in my mind and just kind of like this is mine. Now I did so in that method for my house and my car and a lot of other situations that have been very successful manifesting. And the one thing that I noticed is it has to become a situation where you don't have to think about it, where you're not sitting there. Like I would get so busy that I wouldn't realize that every time I opened my phone, there was a photo on my phone that reminded me of what it is that I wanted. I stopped thinking about it. So you almost want to like just absorb this life, absorb the life you want. Like you become it. There's no over analyzing of it. Once you've decided what it is that you want and you're very confident in that and you know what it is and you know what it looks like and you know what it feels like, you have to put it out there in the universe in a way that it's like, I am so confident that this is mine and for me that I'm not going to think about it again until it lands in my lap. It's just a part of my existence. I don't look at that home on my phone screen and go, oh, I can't wait till I have that home. I go, that house is mine and I'm going to be moving in soon. We'll be moving in any day. And then you're going about your business and you're doing the things that you need to do, which is in preparation. You're moving in alignment with that vision because you know it's true. So you don't have to think about it. You don't have to say, what's a smart move? You feel automatically that you should be doing something to clean up your credit. You feel automatically uh, which job you should take, which jobs you shouldn't, and what money you should save, and what money, what things you need and what things you don't need. Those things just automatically come to you because you're moving in tangent with that vibration. So these things that you're desiring, these things that you're moving towards are already a part of your life. You don't have to go, well, if I was going to get this house, I would have to do this. You don't do that question. You don't sit there and say, if I was going to, you say, I am in the process of getting this house. Therefore, I do these things. There's no thought, there's no analysis of whether or not you're going to get it or how you're going to do it. You're moving in that direction already. You're acting as if it already is yours and you're in the process of it landing in your lap. So it's if we're still in the mindset of having to squash that doubt, we need to do some direct action to solidify the vision and do some like of those different tactics, like putting it on your laptop screen, putting it on your phone screen saver, putting an image up that you see as soon as you wake up and as soon as you go to bed every morning or every night, like right next to your bed. It's something that is an automatic, so you don't have to think about it. So no doubt it is in process. It's not in your hands yet. It doesn't need to be in order for you to believe that it's yours. We have to squash that doubt and we have to stop overthinking about it. That thinking is doubt. These two came up in this last pull here. So together It's a pretty powerful confirmation of that last read as well. Um, and a direction for what we need to be doing. We have sacred action, which is decisive focus, and building your world, a creation, expansion, and networking. There's been some distractions. There's been some questions, some doubts, some necessary, getting necessary for survival. Like you felt that you had to do these things. You didn't have a choice. Necessary for navigating your life. Necessary detours. There are things that had to be addressed in order for you to stay in alignment, in order for you to feel as though you could embark upon this journey in particular, this phase of the journey. This is like the final stretch, seeing the chariot running um, down the track, and the finish line is in sight, but there's still work to be done. Like you're still gonna make it, and there's still these other factors um, that are falling into place. But every time we lose focus, or I'm getting allowing ourselves focus on things that are not meant for us. Um, like you want to have two different focuses instead of just the one. Now, I don't mean that you can't have everything you want in one vision of your life. Your vision of your life at the finish line could be that perfect job and that perfect relationship. But if you're focused on that, you don't have to stop and entertain these situations that don't feel right. Spending too much time explaining yourself, spending a lot of time explaining yourself to people. The people that get it. You don't need to explain it to them. You're just on your path and you're doing your thing, and they see that, and that's the vibe that they've always seen and expected of you. They get more confused when you stop to complain to explain yourself, or you stop to when you're complaining about something. Like that's not like you. You usually don't give that your energy. Um, New people in your circle is necessary, but these are not people that you have to like. You're communicating your vision to them. You don't have to defend your vision to them. It's a difference. So they just kind of get it. They're kind of on the same path you are, and it feels natural and normal. They feel it's like people that you feel like you've known your whole life. Like, wow, we just vibe. Good energy here. There's no effort. The conversation flows. It does. I am getting that there is a step required for some of you. This person doesn't know that you're open to this. Like they're interested and curious in you. Um, but somebody's got to take the first step and say hello. That's somebody's got to do that. So you're supposed to be opening up your world a little bit just by being friendly. You don't have to like force it. This isn't like go chase them down. Um, Especially, I'm getting like you keep seeing them in similar places or in the same place or around the same time every day. Um, so it can start with a simple nod and a smile. Hey, I see you again. And then eventually it turns into how you doing today, and then eventually there's a let's sit down and enjoy this coffee together. You end up, maybe you're at the gym and you end up on the treadmill next to them. You end up in a seat next to them at the library or in the local coffee shop or something along those lines. It's very, very casual, very subtle, very natural. But you are deciding that you're opening yourself up to these kind of um, new engagements with people because it just feels natural. It's not a forced thing. and they are in alignment with what it is that you want. So it just naturally goes in the same direction. You don't have to take your focus off what you're doing in order for this to happen. I hope this makes sense. I'm trying to, I'm getting like a lot of like situations that this applies to. Like I'm seeing, I'm seeing that this natural communication starting up, and then that communication is actually about what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So you're already there, you're already on the same thought process. There's no like, nobody's like questioning, you're not having to explain, and nobody's questioning what it is that you're trying to accomplish. They're like, yes. It's like, oh my God, yes, yes. I can't believe that, we haven't come across each other before kind of energy. Um, it's making opportunities for that. Like you're not, like I said, somebody has to make the first step. Somebody has to say the first thing. And I'm seeing that it's kind of you putting yourself in these situations and making yourself available. If you're typically the type of person to sit there with your head in a book, your head in the phone, like you're supposed to put it down and pay more attention to what's going on around you. You have to like use body language to make yourself open to these connections. It's just a choice, the decisive focus, right? I'm needing to bring some new energy into my life, and so I'm going to behave in a way that allows this to come in. Because if I'm like this, people are not going to look at you and smile and say, hello, how's your day? Good seeing you here again. But if you're just sitting back and you're thoughtful and you're enjoying your coffee or whatever, then you are going to catch people's eye in the same way. Only they're going to see that you are not deep in thought and obsessed over something. So creating the opportunity for things to flow. I'm getting this has a lot to do with career, but it may have something to do with some personal connections that will lead down the road to something as well. So we have to be open to what feels right, what feels natural. Like I said, it's not forcing it. We're just going with the flow and it feels right. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that I'm able to help you understand these concepts a little bit better. And I'm always open to questions and willing to help anyone who's struggling or feels stuck. I go through it too, but I've also had a lot of really incredible successes, and that's why I'm here to share with you today. So I look forward to talking with you and see you next time.